Hello and welcome to the DFS underscore PhD show for today, 13th of December. Remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be us. In the Sims, yeah, I won one sim yesterday, so we're bragging on that. I also cashed a couple other ones, but it's only when I get these savvy level wins that I feel like it's really worth talking about. It's still not really worth talking about. And I mean, like I did fine at basketball. What was it, like 4 of 6 cashed? But it's just like when that Zubats call goes so wrong and he's the last guy of the night, it puts such a sour taste in your mouth. So I apologize. I do feel like as a tout, I should get that right whenever whenever I make a call like that. But you know what happens with Zubats? He's like when the game's competitive, he's very competitive, but he doesn't care about a blowout. And so like I couldn't figure out what was happening on my phone, and then I saw like, oh, it's a 30-point game. Yeah, Zubats doesn't care about this at all, which is too bad because he really is fun to play when he's trying to play hard. Okay, so this slate is all about a couple of things. Number one, will Anthony Davis sit? If Anthony Davis sits, I currently have a rule max one of Jackson Hayes and Christian Wood, but I'm not playing Christian Wood, not for $888. This is, after all, the culmination. This is a spike day in the parlance of my satellite strategy thing, because I don't normally put $6,000 on the line, but today I got $5,400, whatever. We'll see what it is by the end of the day. But yeah, so it's only 6 lineups. 888 is the buy-in. Top prize 250, second prize 100. Ooh, it's a lot on the line, but at the same time, I've been practicing it. And yeah, yesterday I cashed 4 of them. If I cash 4 of them tonight, I'll be a happy man. But yeah, I mean, that's not really what it's about, though. I want to win those top 2 prizes. There's only 1,000 people in this game. And that's like these lineups are not that difficult tonight. So I didn't do the pace thing. I'm because these are correctly paced. I mean, all of the games I wanted were roughly where I wanted them. So I didn't want to start messing around there. We have, Toronto and Atlanta very fast. We have Indiana and Milwaukee very fast. New Orleans and Washington very fast. Philly and Detroit, even though it's a blowout, very fast. So there's a lot of different places you can go here today. A wonderful slate for the 888, I gotta say. Really excited for it, even for losing it. It will be fine, and I don't really care that much. So you can see how I did the guys at the top. I just wanted to make sure that I have all the guys in the classes where I feel like they belong. So Giannis and Embiid are in a class by themselves at 70 projected points right now, the way they're playing. And in this game environment for Giannis, I'm not sure on an average night he is a 70 guy, but against Indiana, he definitely is a 70 guy. Halliburton, I think he's got to be projected for more than 50. He's better. It's a good game environment for him as well. I still didn't get to any, but if you're playing more than 6 lineups, you definitely get to some Halliburton pretty fast. So here's the thing. Brandon Ingram, I'm kind of assuming, I guess I am assuming that Zion is out to make Brandon Ingram this level of a dude. I probably don't have him in core. If Zion is ruled in, I probably pivot off 1 or 2 of these Brandon Ingrams. He's still a great play. I mean, Washington's a bad team, and he could pile on 50 and no problem. So, but I mean, 30% chance of that is about right. So, in the case where Zion is in, so I'll probably just match about 30%. Yeah, take 2 of these away in the case where Zion is in. Wemby, assuming he starts at the 5, he's totally in play. He could get freaking 20 rebounds just by standing there, right? I mean, he's an amazing talent. I sound like a douchebag on the show a lot, but these guys are incredible. And of the most incredible guys I have seen in my entire life, the man is changing the game like Giannis before him. I mean, really, nobody has changed the game quite like him. So it's going to be really fun to see and to win some money on. Now, value-wise, let's see. Mitchell Robinson foul trouble. Sims and Hartenstein fork is what that becomes. Can't play Sims, though, at 4K or whatever he's at now. So it's just a Hartenstein play. Where do I got Hartenstein? Oh. Well, Jackson Hayes play the slate, assuming AD is out and assuming he starts. Now, could they do the traditional BS thing where AD is out and instead of going to Jackson Hayes starting, they go to Christian Wood starting? Yeah, they could do that BS thing. If they do, it doesn't really change my projection for Jackson Hayes. It does make Christian Wood a play you can play. I just can't put Christian Wood in a lineup when They might not play him at all. They don't like that guy. I don't know what's going on with that, but it doesn't seem like they want to play him. I don't get it. Pirtle, I think you got to have Pirtle. They're extending him. I did have that rule as well. I have my Pirtle or Precious closing rule, so I have both Pirtle and Precious at a reasonable value. Same with Myles. I think one of Myles Turner or Isaiah Jackson is probably going to need to be in your lineups tonight. At least some of your lineups tonight. I guess I'd check in. There's a ton of center value. Just like last night, there remains a ton of center value tonight. So, you got to pick and choose among your centers, and there's just not that much great guard value. And as a result, I wind up with Dennis Schroeder and D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell, we're also expecting LeBron out. And so with LeBron out, more playmaking for D'Lo, more playmaking for Austin Reeves. Actually, you know what? That is more playmaking for Austin Reeves. And I didn't like, their projection for Austin Reeves is really low with LeBron out. I think, what are we doing with Austin Reeves being projected for 29 minutes with LeBron out? LeBron plays a lot of minutes, guys. You can't give them all to point D'Lo. So I don't know about this. I probably have to go with 34, 35 for Austin Reeves. Does that change anything? Do I even have him in enough lineups for that to matter? Probably do. It doesn't matter. Okay. Welcome to the show, Lana, our cat who needs to have breakfast, as she informs me. But yeah, 35. It's still not enough to move the needle on Austin Reeves. All right. Well, can't say I didn't try. So another thing about the type of slate and type of strategy to use, it's a 9-gamer. So you do need a positive case for any one of these guys. You have to say, I think for sure they could be optimal, but that's the case for pretty much every top play. Like Giannis, Embiid, Halliburton, Booker, Ingram, these guys are all fine. The one guy I might unclick is Trey, just because he has to hit his shots. All these other guys don't have to hit their shots. They can all just get there with blocks or rebounds or steals or whatever other high-paced game environment thing. I mean, and Trey's in a high-paced game. It's just that we've all seen it. He can really fade away. So yeah, Maxey and Lillard are guys where their price is finally caught up with their value at about 9, 10K respectively. I can't do Lillard in a timeshare. Scotty Barnes, I buffed him, but I still am not getting there. Myles Turner, yep. I'll have a share of Myles Turner, no problem. D'Lo, pretty close. So what were my core? Did I even say a core? Let me say that core. Right now, Giannis, Brandon Ingram, Jackson Hayes. That's a reasonable core. I stand by that core for sure. Schroeder, Russell, flip a coin, don't care. They're all fine. And then this next layer of value. Bay is massively underprojected right now at SaberSim, but I don't know. I think they have Hunter in, and I'm thinking Hunter might not play or might not get it. If he does play, it won't get extended as likely as Bay. Regardless, if Bay is 1%, I will certainly be backing up the truck to 34% Bay, 33% Bay. And that means 2 of my 6 lineups tonight. That's why all these weird percentages. Thankfully, tomorrow we will go back to a reasonable number of 20. I like to cover 20 cases. This is not enough. This is way too many rules for 6 lineups. I recognize that, but I have to do some semblance of my process. And speaking of, that's basically it, guys. I don't really have much more to say. Chimezie Metu is a play you got to have some of today. He's still valuable. He could still get there, even though he didn't last late. Hartenstein absolutely should be projected for a few more minutes and a possible smash. Nick Richards is another guy you got to have some interest in, even though he's a little bit priced up, because he still could go for 30 plus. I mean, it's in the range. Honestly, where do I put him really? 32, 34. He's not 28. If you want to bias him towards his non foul trouble outcomes, it's more probably 32. So, and I don't want that in more than a third of my lineups either. But I'm happy with him in another lineup for sure. Right. And I should remember that I have already put these lineups in because I liked the first draft of the lineups. So all these changes I'm doing, have to make sure they get in the actual final lineups. All right, guys. But that is all I got to say. So remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough. And gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be us. And I really hope it is tonight.